Hello everyone, welcome to another video by Shadow Reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing another Bioformer MOC. Today we're going to be reviewing Ekimu, not Master of Anything. So anyway, this is Ekimu in his ultimate form. He is a ship, and not too bad looking of a ship if I do say so myself. Have kind of a turbine slash shooter slash engine slash whatever you see that as being thing up at front. Got some gold and silver at a kind of a flat nose here. Pretty wide of a nose if you ask me, or probably anybody. But they have some pretty good colors. Have a little bit of silver, little, like I said, up at the nose and up here. Mostly white and gold with some trans blue highlights. You got some trans blue down here, some up here, up here. You can see a little bit back there, and some down here with the hands. So yeah, it's a pretty nice ship mode. Here's it from top view. And from the side, so directly from the front, and let's see the back, which is not the best view, but I do like this ship. It's pretty cool. It's pretty small actually fairly small if you ask me, but I think it's a pretty good size. I mean, Ekimu wasn't really the biggest of dudes in the official build. I mean, he was like, what, like maybe this tall or so, like around here. He's definitely smaller than this guy. So I actually did upsize him a bit more than I intended, but it turned out pretty well. Have your wings here fanning out to the side, bionic armor piece here and here. Yeah, I do like the colors. You can see already he does kind of borrow Kopaka's color scheme with having the white, the gold, and the trans blue. Kim was only supposed to have the trans blue and the gold, but I didn't have enough parts for that, so I had to bring in something else. And I decided to bring in white, which made him kind of look like, you know, Kopaka. I mean, I guess he could have used red in a few places, but that really wouldn't have gone too well, I guess. I mean, it's red and blue, so, I mean, if you like that, it's good, but I'd rather have gone with this. It just makes him look more like Regal and Ekimu-ish, I guess. But yeah, it's a pretty nice ship mode. Exposed bones here, but there's nothing you can do about that. 2 exposed ball joints here, and an exposed ball joint up front. You probably couldn't do anything up here. I mean, you could definitely put something there, but that might hinder neck articulation, which would be a bad thing. Up here might hinder head articulation, which it already does, but adding something else might not be the best idea. Depends on what you add, though, so there's that. And yeah, have your head back here as kind of a landing gear, so it lands on the head. So your mouse might be popping off a lot more than you would like. Have some trans blue kind of supports down there. It rests pretty flat on the ground, so that's pretty cool. So you can get a nice, you know, that, I guess. And yeah, I have some gaps here in the up at the front, but that's not something that you can easily fix. So yeah, it's a pretty nice ship mode. You can definitely come back here, and these shoulder pads fan out to the sides, so you can totally see these as being like boosters right in there, which is cool. But yeah, you can see they're being boosters at the end of the wingtips. But yeah, I do very much like this vehicle mode. It's pretty cool. I do enjoy the way it looks. No weapon storage, unfortunately, but I mean, I don't think the weapons would really add to the look of this thing. It already looks pretty cool. So yeah, so let's get into transformation. So first what you want to do, kind of close up the wings. I mean, they, depending on how much you fan them out, they can go in a little bit or like in a lot. Because pulling them out here, which is actually the next step, pull them out and then bend them like this. You can see this has a bunch of articulation out to the side, so you can bend that as far as you want. I don't do it very much, so you know, just kind of pull these in. Next, what you want to do is take this off, and kind of moving these back out the way, spin this around, and then pull it down, and kind of, you know. Anyway, let's come around to this side and split the hands. So there you go. Straighten out the arms, get them out the way. You can bring the legs forward like this. Straighten those out like so. Then you can bring this forward Oh, before we finish that, let's finish the back. So you can flip this down and out of the way, pull these in and in. Then you can just rest this on top of those, or you can fan these out to get this more flush with the back. It all depends on what you want, but it does leave that gap there. So let's pull those legs down further, and let's angle up to make things easier. So then what you want to do next, kind of pull those legs down all the way. You can get them to stand. So let's pull maybe this down a little bit. So you can pull the head up. You pull these down, and these will fill out the chest. So those will go down, and then you could pull this up, and then this will attach to this pin. So you have to do a little bit of bending down here at these ball joints to get it to go up on there, but it definitely is a thing that'll happen. I just launched off like 3 studs accidentally. Not really sure how that happened. Anyway, let's just get this in. Come on, and there it is. And then you can just kind of pull these into the body, like I said, to help fill it out. So let's spin his head around, and there is Ekimu, his new robot mode. And not too bad of a robot mode, if I do say so myself. He's pretty cool looking. Yeah, let's go ahead and put these back on. I'm not really sure how they got launched off in the first place, but they did, so that happened. That actually hasn't happened before. They're pretty secure since there's nothing actually launching them, or like no spinning mechanism. Anyway, this is Ekimu, new robot mode. Yeah, so it looks pretty nice. I do enjoy this robot mode. I think it's cool. Unlike his original form, it's not as glowy, I guess. His original form, while being small, it was made completely out of, well, almost completely out of trans blue bone parts. So his entire arm and his entire leg was like transparent blue. And that was really cool, but they don't make all those bone pieces. I didn't have enough of those bone pieces. I mean, I probably had more than I thought I did. I mean, I used 4 of them here, so I probably had 2 extras I could use in the arms. To get the legs this length, there's nothing I could do to make them trans blue, unless I use those Kopaka larger trans blue bone pieces and shorten the upper legs, and that would work. But overall, it's just not as transparent as the original was, which is kind of sad. But this one still looks really cool. Like I said, he does kind of steal the Kopaka color scheme with the white, the gold, and the trans blue all put together. And yeah, pretty cool. Does still have the trans green eye stalk, which I have to say now, I really don't get why they gave him a trans green. Maybe they thought that having him have blue eyes would be a bit too much. But I mean, his mask is trans blue, his whole body is like trans blue, so I mean, I guess it kind of helps his eyes to stand out or something, but I don't really understand that decision. But yeah, he's pretty nice. So for articulation, heads on the ball joint, can't look down much. You can look up really far, you can go left and right, you got your tail. It's pretty much unlimited except for looking down. Arms can go up, they can go forward. They can't go back with the wings right here, but you know, those are adjustable. It'll just move this part off to the side, whichever one you adjust, so you get them moving back. You can bend them right here, just slightly more than 90 degrees. Got your rotation, just have to be careful of this running into this. So there's that. And then all your hand articulation. So let's put this wing back and this back plate back down. So there's your arms, and now for your legs, you can go forward, you can go back, out, and a little bit, rotate, bend more than 90 degrees, not too much more. Got all your foot articulation. So yeah, pretty articulate, not too limited in terms of articulation. Really cool figure, like I said. I do enjoy this guy. Makes Ekimu go up to like a whole nother level, because before he's just the little dude fighting Skull Grinder, barely stood a chance. Now he's ready to kick butt. I mean, even his weapons are bigger, and that was kind of a must, because if this guy had the weapons like he had in his mini form, I really didn't think that would look very good. I mean, you could just, if I can show you, covering up this would have been the size of his hammer compared to him. I mean, a hammer, getting hit with a hammer is still getting hit with a hammer, but why have that little thing when you can have all that? So yeah, so for comparison, probably going to have to pull these back and pull up a lot. There's Ekimu, and here is Skull Grinder. So you can see he does get a fair bit taller, Ekimu I mean, gets a fair bit taller, at least just under Skull Grinder's height. I mean, Skull Grinder does have his knees bent, so let's see if I can approximate that with Ekimu. Without knocking his mask off. So maybe about that much. And yeah, let's see. If I move them like this, maybe we can see a little bit better the height. Yeah, he's not that much smaller anymore. So that's just an approximation though. If you still stood them up completely next to each other, maybe like a head or like half a head smaller than Skull Grinder. So definitely much more of a matching, you know, kind of matchup, I guess. Ekimu being a lot bigger and Skull Grinder no longer being the big baddie he used to be. So let's get this out of the way. But yeah, so I mean, being bigger is only half the battle with Colta. Because from what I've read and you know and stuff, seems like Colta's size isn't his only asset. He's also pretty powerful. Well, we're not here to talk about Colta. We're here to talk about Ekimu. So let's move on to his weapons, which I already showed one of them. There's his hammer, which I upsized like this by using these paw pieces and some bones and ball joints, so that his hammer was a lot bigger and just cooler looking. So you can give that to him. Here's the top. I also extended it because the handle I had before was probably a little bit too small for the size of the hammer. So there it is, full hammer. You can swing around. Should mention, if you really wanted to, you might want to put some friction extenders in his shoulders. Let's have a little trouble holding this up, as you can see, so that might be needed, but usually it holds up pretty well. So here he is with his big hammer, so we can start pounding mask and bad guys. And then there is his shield, which is over here. Basically the Kopaka shield attached differently, and with this ornamental piece at the end, which was the same ornamental piece on Ekimu's original shield. You can give that to him just like that. And the shield is really one of the things that doesn't really seem to stay up on his arm very well. But there's his shield, and you can defend with it, like I think you could with any shield. Come on. So yeah, there's his weapons, and yeah, that's pretty much all. This is pretty much the same story of this guy as with everyone. He awoke, I guess. I mean, I haven't watched the cartoons for this next series of Bionicle, the Skull series, just yet. May do that at some point, but anyway. So, I mean, assuming they awoke Ekimu, since he's in the set that he comes in, when he got awoke, he eventually got hit with a piece of energon before battling Colta, turned him into this, and yeah, this is an improvement. So, yeah, he was talking about weapons. I guess I should talk about his stud shooter in his chest. Kind of wanted it to be like a, kind of like a wind turbine engine type thing at first. Didn't quite turn out that way, but I think it's still pretty cool. It does not shoot, unfortunately. That'd be pretty cool if this transformed, but also had like a shooting mechanism. You know what I'm saying? That would be pretty awesome, but I really don't think that's very possible. I mean, you could definitely take a shot at it, making this transform the same, or pretty similarly, and putting in a shooting mechanism. That'd be pretty cool, but I didn't take the time to do that. It'd probably take a while and quite a few pieces. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say, other than the back. You have your back plate. Like I said, there's just a large gap here. You can, pull these out to make this be more flush against the back, but I like it like this. And you have your wings there pointed up. You can switch around the direction if you want. It's really not that hard. But yeah, you can angle these. You can angle them up and down. And so yeah. So that's about all I have to say. I think I covered pretty much everything. So yeah, there is your look at my Ekimu Bioformer, and soon to come will probably be Colta. That will probably be next, and hopefully if I get another Skull Villain, I'll do him if I get another Skull Villain anytime soon. But yeah, there's Ekimu for you, and yeah. So, thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe for more MOC content. And you'll see this guy with Massive Creation in another MOC, so don't ask about that. So, see you guys later.